Hi, Amma. The trouser top stitch didn't work for me, ma. Please, ma, is it possible to ask for a video of it? It kept shifting the back crotch to another side. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a response to this request by Omotala Badmos, and thank you Omotala for this observation. That particular trouser is my go-to trouser this summer, and I'm surprised I've not taken notice. So I made some research and I'll be sharing 3 ways to attach this elastic waistband with joggers rope and boycott this error of the back crotch shifting to one side. I will also show you how to fix the top stitch method. So do not forget to like, share, and let's get right into the tutorial. For the first method, I'll be using a client's trouser and I've prepared the waistband. The total waist circumference of this trouser is 60 inches and so is the waistband. So I've cut out my elastic. The width of my elastic measured 2.25 inches and the width of my waistband is 3 inches. It's important to have some ease in your waistband for easy movement of the elastic. Now the length of my elastic is 40 inches, 2 inches shorter than the original waist circumference of the client, which is 42 inches. I'll go ahead and join this elastic to form a circle. So guys, I've done that. I went ahead to notch the sides of the waistband, the center, front and back as well. Do not forget to do this important part as this will serve as a guide when attaching the waistband to the trouser. I'll go ahead and insert the elastic into the waistband and attach with a straight stitch, but please do not be like me. Do not forget to do the buttonholes for your joggers rope before making the stitches. This is what I have. I have attached the elastic and I sewed using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and it was at this point that I realized I didn't make the buttonhole. So I'll quickly do that before we continue. I have made my buttonholes and the distance from one buttonhole to the other is 1.5 inches. I'll go ahead and create the channel for the rope and I'll be using the height of my buttonhole as a guide. I really find this seam guard very effective when it comes to sewing straight lines and maintaining the same seam allowance length. So for anyone who struggles to sew a straight continuous stitch, I highly recommend this seam guide. I'll run the second stitch under the buttonhole to create the channel for my rope. So I'll place my seam guard on this first stitch line to serve as a guide so that I'll have a continuous stitch. So guys, I've created the channel for my drawstring rope as you can see on the waistband. So we'll go ahead and attach it to the trouser. We are going to attach the waistband to the trouser using those notches we made on the waistband as our guide. So I'm going to match up the center front to the center of the waistband, the sides to the trouser, and the center back to the center back of the waistband. I'll go ahead and match up these important points and I'll attach with a straight stitch and I'll be sewing using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So guys, while you sew, make sure to stretch the elastic to the length of the waistband. So if you're starting from the center front, make sure to stretch the elastic from the center front to the side seam to the length of the waistband, and you do the same on the other side of the trouser. I have attached the waistband to the trouser and this is what I have. Now we're going to do a check to ensure that both sides of the waistband are equal. I will match up the center front of the waistband to the center back and fold it in half. You can see here that both sides of the waistband is the same. The side pockets are well positioned on the sides. The center back line is right where it should be. So this waistband is well installed and this is how yours should turn out as well. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert the drawstring rope, clean off the raw edges, and voila, your waistband is ready. For the second method, I have 3 elastics measuring the same width and length, and I have marked the elastic channels on the waistband. I have also done my buttonhole for the drawstring. The width of my elastic is 0.6 inch and the channel on my waistband is 0.75 inch. So you put all this into consideration when determining the width of your waistband depending on the width of your elastic. I'll go ahead and run straight stitches from the lines to create the channel for the elastic, and I'll leave a space for the passage of the elastic. I have created the channel for the elastic. I'll go ahead and notch the sides of the waistband, the center, front and back, as this will serve as a guide when attaching the waistband to the trouser. I'll go in with the first elastic. I will insert it on the first channel. I'll secure the elastic with a zigzag stitch. Stretch out the waistband so that the elastic will be shared uniformly through the channel, and I'll stitch close the first passage. I'll go in with the second elastic. I will insert it in the second channel. I'll secure the elastic with a zigzag stitch, stretch out my waistband so that the elastic will be shared uniformly through the channel, and I'll stitch close the second passage. Finally, I will go in with the third elastic. I will insert it in the third channel. I'll secure the elastic with a zigzag stitch. Do not forget to stretch out the waistband so that the elastic is shared uniformly through the channel, and I will stitch close the third passage. I have done all that I said, and this is what my waistband looks like. With this method, you don't need to run stitches on the waistband to create the channel for the drawstring. I'll go ahead and attach the waistband to the trouser. I'm going to attach the waistband to the trouser using those notches that I made. So I'm going to match up the center front, the side seams and the center back, and I'll be attaching using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So if you're starting your sewing from the center front or back, make sure to stretch the elastic to the fullest length of the waistband from the center front to the side seam as you sew. I have attached the waistband to the trouser, and this is what it's looking like. I'll go ahead and zigzag stitch or overlock the raw edges, but before then we'll check to see if both sides of the waistband matches. So here I'm indicating the center, front and back of the waistband. I will match them up together. You can see that the pockets are right on the sides of the trouser. I'll fold the waistband in half, and you can also see that both sides of the waistband are the same, so the waistband is well installed. The next thing I'm going to do is to insert the joggers rope, and that's practically it for this method. This method might just be my new go-to in installing an elastic waistband with joggers rope. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. The third method is the method that most of us are used to, which was the method that brought this question. So I've already attached my waistband and top stitch it on the right side, leaving a little space to insert my elastic. Now the width of my elastic is 1.75 inch and that of my waistband is 2 inches plus 1/2 inch seam allowance, making it 2.5 inches. The length of the elastic here measured 32.5 inches and my waistline measured 32 inches at the time of making this trouser, so I reduced the elastic to 30 inches. I'll go ahead and insert the elastic in the waistband, secure it with a zigzag stitch and stitch close that opening on the waistband. I have inserted the elastic and stitch close the opening. The length of your elastic should be able to stretch to the length of your waistband, just like I'm showing you here. This seam guide comes in very handy when making long continuous stitch. So if you're the type that struggle with making long straight stitches, I highly recommend this seam guide. I'll go ahead and create the channel for the joggers rope using my buttonhole as a guide. I will make long continuous stitches with the help of my seam guide. So while sewing on the waistband, I'll be stretching out the elastic to the full length of the waistband. I have made the first stitch and this is what I have. I'll go ahead and make the second stitch below the buttonhole for the jogger's rope channel. So guys, I've created the channel for the jogger's rope and you can see clearly here that one side of the waistband was stretched more than the other side. So the back crotch of this trouser wing one will be shifted to one side. And when I matched up the center front to the back of the waistband and folded it in half, you can see the difference between both sides. You can see that both sides are not the same. So after several stitching, losing, stitching and still getting the same result of one side of the waistband being longer than the other, I was already getting frustrated before the Holy Spirit dropped an idea to lose the stitches just around the side seam and reduce the elastic band. So I did exactly that. I loosed the seam around the side seam, pulled out the elastic band and cut off about 1 inch on fold. So that will be 2 inches and secured the elastic with a zigzag stitch. Once I was done, I stretched out my elastic. I went ahead to match up the center front and back of the waistband and pin it in place. Then I positioned the side seam of the trouser on the elastic and pin it in place so that it matches to the other side of the waistband. And I did this without stretching the elastic. Before I went ahead to sew, I folded the waistband in half and you can see here that the side I reduced the elastic is a little shorter, which is totally fine. If they are the same at this point and you go ahead and sew, you end up with one side of the waistband being longer than the other side. And please make sure the side seams are well positioned on the sides. I went ahead and ran the first stitch. Then I folded the waistband in half to see if the sides matches, and yes they did, with their side seams and pockets well positioned on the side. Then I went ahead and ran the second stitch to complete it. So guys, I am done sewing and this is me matching up the waistband center front to the center back, and I'll fold it in half. And you can see clearly here that both sides of the waistband matches with their side seam and pockets well positioned on the side. So this was how I fixed the waistband of this method with the help of the Holy Spirit in quotes. So you just follow the same step to fix yours. I'll go ahead and insert the jogger's rope, and that's practically it, fabulous soulmates. Do not forget to like and share if you find it helpful. Let me know in the comment section which of these methods you'll be sticking to. For me, it's the second method. And until my next one, a bientôt!